Hello there. So today I actually want to talk about finding in politics how they get these extremes, how they get these extreme movements going. My understanding of what I can see, it looks to me as if they'll say something. Either they'll do one of two things. They'll say something more moderate that will build extreme because the thing in itself, at its core, is an immoral thing, or they'll say the immoral thing outright at its extreme, and people find, well, it's somewhere in the middle, and think that if you take that immoral thing and have it in the middle, it'll actually become, it'll be halfway of it between moral and immoral. Halfway there is actually moral or something. I don't know. So you take a topic like pro-choice. They will have you believe. They will say initially they said safe, legal, and rare, and everyone's like, something, we got some compassion for people. Some people they can't handle having the baby, or they were raped, or they went through whatever they went through. We can't really. We're not going to really like make these people have to have their babies. Like we have compassion for these people. We understand, as if the child being born. See, we had a more religious society. People believed in everything being from God and was more religious related. Now we're more science related. So being more religious related, you think to yourself, with the child in the womb, wherever the child's from is a child from God, and that's not a child for you to kill. To kill, and every life is here for a reason and for a purpose from God, and you're not God, so you don't get to determine why that should when the child should not be allowed to be here or whatever it is. You don't get to dictate these things. Only God. This is how society was back then. It was more religious. Obviously, there was always seculars, but the majority of people were more religious. They were. I'm not saying they were like the most religious people. They were just more religious to this extent, where they would actually understand. Yes, every child is from God. There was this idea everyone should go to church on Sunday. Like it was just a societal thing that we genuinely agreed upon. Now it's like it doesn't matter here or there. There's some communities that push this, these things, but whatever it is. So they'll take this idea of abortion, and they'll say safe, legal, and rare, and then people just agree to it a little bit. Whatever, we can get it out there, and then eventually it turns to infanticide being normalized, where it's not normalized yet, but it's getting there. They've already been starting to push that, which is like, okay, obviously they were getting there because they're already taking life out of the womb that's already old enough to be born. So 9 months, you're old enough to have been born. And if you're okay with an abortion to that, you can't say, well, I'm okay with the abortion for 9 months, which is really just taking a life, taking the baby's life, but I'm not okay with the infanticide. That doesn't make any sense. And then you're gonna have more people transferring over from they're gonna go opposite way, they're gonna go away from the abortion, or they're gonna go more for it, and they'll actually say, we understand there's no difference between 9 months and the infanticide. Leave them in the room, let them talk it out, let them let respectful. Let's not get the woman's life ruined over this. All this is very like science based and very logic based and very inhumane based. Um, a lot of these things, the way they work is usually through religion and God and values and worth of that from that based on that. You take it away, it doesn't work. I heard the other day, Doctor, what was maybe it was yesterday, Doctor Fauci, Anthony Fauci. I don't like calling him Doctor. Anthony Fauci was talking about following the science, and we are gonna have this country run following the science. And I'm just thinking to myself, I was young when I was younger. I saw all these clips about World War II and all these different things of science experiments being done on people against their will, but for the greater good. The idea of science being done with human experiments and all these different things happening for the greater good. By the way, all this abortion stuff and the embryos and all these things are human experiments being done with science for the greater good. It's dictating when life can come, when life can go. It's trying to play God because these people don't actually believe in God. They don't have a faith in God. And if they do, they think they do. As I've stated previously in previous videos, if you're serving yourself, even if you believe in God, you're still secular. You don't have to necessarily. There's semantics back and forth. Do you believe in God? Do you not believe in God? Of course I believe in God. And then everything about you is about serving yourself and about your emotions, about what you feel. And if that's going to be the case, there's no way to say God says do not kill, and then you're going to say, well, I know God said do not kill, but this isn't killing, and I'm going to just take the life, but it's not killing. Like none of this, you can't make sense out of this. None of this makes any sense, and it's all very dangerous. And at the end of the day, I'm kind of off topic here, but all this stuff I think is really important. Bottom line is they will take an extreme thing or whatever it is. They'll take a thing that's immoral and bad, and they'll push it on the people, and then the people sort it out on their own, and either it's going to go away, which usually doesn't happen, or it's going to lead somewhere that's going to grow and become bigger and hurt our society, harm our society more. So you got the trans people, now you got people that like, you had feminists initially and all that stuff, and then it was like, okay, you got to be pro lesbian, pro gay, and pro this and pro that. And I just heard this thing the other day with Miley Cyrus being bashed for saying something about women being more attractive than men, and she was being, and the response was basically, even a lesbian woman such as yourself needs to be able to appreciate a man's genitals or something like that. I was like, you people are nuts. You people are crazy. And at the end, but that's how this stuff works. And now they're stuck between a rock and a hard place where it's like, either I'm for trans and I'm for LGBTQ, right? I have to abide by the dictates, saying these insane things, or these things in the first place were all just crazy things we never should have paid any attention to or given any credit to or anything like that. Had any consider it to be of worth of any sort, and that's what it is. It never should have happened. We had a more religious society. People believed in the Bible, believed in religious values, and that was going in good places. That was leading people to, we got rid of slaves, and religious texts were understood for it. We got rid of whatever it was. We understood things through the Bible and through the religious ways and values in our society, which caused us to progress and get better. And as the more and more we progressed, we were simultaneously getting away from the Bible. The more we were leading to the very thing the founding of this country was actually trying to get away from in the first place. So we got to try going back to our roots, not allowing these insane, crazy things, finding middle ground. We can't allow ourselves to have to contemplate or consider or think like, let me find this thing that's crazy. Let's just find a middle ground. And now it's not going to be crazy. It's going to be a more realistic version of it, something that's more ethical, more moral. But even though the thing itself, like abortion, let's say, yeah, obviously you don't kill a 9-month-old. Maybe we'll just kill a 2-month a baby in the womb, because what do they don't feel, they don't this, they don't that. It's like you're taking the life that will exist and can have a life that goes however long your life is. You're making a decision. You're going to take that, and that it's moral, and there's no basis for that. That is life. Do not kill. It's in the Bible. That simple. No science can explain why it's immoral to kill. So therefore, using science for this, the idea that you can use science to actually dictate morality is absurd and doesn't work. And none of these things, the trans is about science, and all this stuff is all science. Science is something that's been proven time and time again to be used for evils. We cannot allow that to happen for our society, and we have to fight it at every step of the way. Right now we got Fauci out there spouting, we're going to follow the science. That science stuff is going to lead to people finding middle ground that will lead to the insanity and the end of this country, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, that's all I got for that. Like, subscribe, join me on my Facebook group of America and Values. All the best. Thanks for watching.